Hello lovelies, I'm Monica Rhea, and today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of us find a bit tricky, which is buying fabric online. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably love the convenience and selection of shopping online. Like, I can't tell you the last time that I've actually been inside of a Target because I'm constantly doing drive-up orders. But when it comes to fabric online, it's easy to feel uncertain. Like, what does the fabric actually feel like? Will it work for my project? Is the color that you're seeing on the screen the real color of the fabric? These are questions that we often have when we're shopping online for fabric. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the most important things to consider when buying fabric online. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to peruse the interwebs for fabric with confidence. So let's dive in. The first thing you want to do is think about the specifics of your project. Are you making a dress, a blouse, a hat, or maybe curtains? Each project will need a different type of fabric with different qualities. For example, if you're making a flowy garment, you want a fabric that drapes well, like rayon or other silky type fabric. But if you're working on a coat, you're probably looking for something with structure like wool or a heavy canvas or twill. It's also helpful to set a budget because fabric prices can vary a lot and they are often listed by the yard or meter. So make sure to note how much fabric you need and check the price per unit. Fabric width is also a really big one. Fabrics come in various widths, usually between like 43 to about 68 inches. The wider the fabric is, it means you'll need fewer yards or meters. So it's a really good idea to check the width before you buy it. Next, let's talk about GSM, or grams per square meter. GSM is a measurement of how heavy or dense a fabric is. It's especially helpful because it gives you a way to compare fabrics beyond just lightweight or heavyweight. So I'm going to go ahead and put up the GSM ranges so that way you kind of have a better idea of what to expect if you see GSM measurements on the listing. Light fabrics, like those around 50 to 150 GSM, are perfect for airy, breezy garments like summer dresses or blouses. These fabrics are usually soft and have a lot of drape. Medium weight fabrics between 150 to 350 GSM are great for more versatile projects like shirts, dresses, and lighter pants. They tend to have some structure but still feel very flexible. And then the heavier fabrics, which are usually above 350 GSM, and they're often used for outerwear, jeans, and upholstery. They have a lot of body and they're typically more durable. And upholstery generally is going to be about 550 and above. If a website lists GSM, it's a great tool for understanding how thick or thin the fabric might feel. Also, reading the reviews would be really helpful if there are any. If anything, you can also try to look through the description of the fabric to see if there's any keywords that may suggest whether it's in the lightweight, medium, or heavyweight realms. And of course, you can always reach out to the company to ask specific questions about that fabric if you really, really like it. So a little bit on the fiber content. This is basically what the fabric is made from. So natural fibers like cotton, linen, silk, or wool are breathable and they tend to feel pretty good against the skin. They can, however, wrinkle a little more easily. Some of them may require delicate care as well. And then on the other hand, you have synthetic fibers like polyester, acrylic, or nylon, which are often wrinkle resistant and tend to be more affordable. However, they can be less breathable and not the greatest on the environment. You'll also see blends like cotton polyester, which often give you the best of both worlds. In this case, you have the softness and breathability of cotton with the durability and color fastness of polyester. Another thing to consider is whether the fabric should be woven or knit. They behave very differently from one another, so it's essential to know which one suits your project. For example, woven fabrics like poplin or satin don't stretch much unless there's elastic fiber mixed in, but they are quite perfect for structured garments. You can get a bit of stretch out of a woven fabric by using it on the bias. This can, however, affect the drape if that's something that has to do with your project. and it just really depends. Knits like jersey knit or rib knits have a natural stretch due to the way they're made, making them perfect for fitted tops or stretchy pants. Knit fabrics tend to be a lot more forgiving when sewing. Also, drape and texture are a really big one. So if you're looking at something like silk, charmeuse, or chiffon, expect it to be very flowy and soft, while canvas, on the other hand, is going to have a lot more body and structure. So when it comes to buying fabrics online, there are some key words that it's good to know and will ultimately help you make the right decision. So first up, we have stretch. This is important for fitted garments. Some websites will list the percentage of stretch so you can match it to your needs. Recovery kind of goes hand in hand. It's the fabric's ability to return to its original shape after being stretched. So elastic or elastane blends have a high recovery, while cotton has less. And then opacity, check if the fabric is described as sheer, semi-sheer, or opaque, especially if you're planning to make a garment that needs coverage. Next is shrinkage, which refers to the amount the fabric might reduce in size when washed. Natural fibers like cotton and wool tend to shrink a lot more than synthetics, so pre-washing or carefully washing is sometimes necessary. And you'll find that some fabrics are actually labeled as pre-washed. So it just kind of depends, but you want to take this into account. So when you see hand, it refers to the way the fabric feels to the touch. It can describe the softness, smoothness, roughness, etc. For instance, velvet has a soft, luxurious hand, while burlap has a rough hand. Then drape, which is the way a fabric hangs or flows. Some fabrics, like silk, have a fluid, graceful drape, while others, like denim, have a stiffer drape. And then you have a finish or finishes, which can be like mercerized, sanded, brushed. It's pretty much any post-production treatment that affects the way the fabric looks or feels. So mercerizing is going to strengthen a fabric and give it a bit of sheen. And a brushed fabric is usually just for softness. And then there's like waterproofing or moisture wicking. Those are all kind of different types of finishes. And nap refers to the raised fibers on a fabric surface that can change direction, which affects the way it looks in the light. So think velvet, suede, corduroy, things like that. Whereas pile is the raised surface created by loops or cut fabrics, giving the fabric texture. So in this case, it's kind of like terry cloth or French terry type fabrics. And then the dreaded peeling, which I'm sure we all hate. It's the formation of the small balls of fibers on the surface of fabric due to wear and friction. Fabrics that are prone to peeling include wool and some synthetic fabrics, and a lot of the times the lower quality fabrics tend to peel too. Lastly, color fastness, which describes the fabric's ability to maintain its color over time, especially after washing or exposure to sunlight. Higher color fastness means less fading. So we're going to read over a product description that I found on Mood. I picked it at random. That way we can go ahead and put our new knowledge to the test, and you'll be able to know exactly what to expect from this fabric. So we can see here the content of this fabric is listed as 97% cotton and 3% elastane. So knowing this blend is helpful for a couple of reasons. First, cotton is natural and feels great against the skin. These qualities make it ideal for warmer weather. The 3% elastane adds just enough stretch to make it a bit more comfortable and flexible, which can be a huge plus in fitted garments. This brings us to the stretch information. So in the description, it tells us that the fabric has 10% stretch weft-wise, meaning it stretches slightly from side to side, like across the width of the fabric, not top to bottom. So this slight stretch is perfect for garments that need just a bit of give without full elasticity, like fitted pants or dresses. And then you can see that this fabric has a GSM of 190, which means it is a medium weight fabric. So this suggests that this fabric is substantial enough for a structured garment like jackets or pants, but still light and breathable for warmer weather. So looking at the drape in hand, the product description mentions a malleable drape and a cool hand, meaning it has a soft, flexible flow and it feels refreshing against the skin. Since the fabric has a malleable drape, it's versatile enough to create different types of garments, from looser styles to more fitted ones. The cool hand will make it comfortable to wear in spring or summer. The suggested project section of the description, here it includes pants, dresses, tops, or jackets, all items that benefit from the fabric's slight stretch, medium weight, and opaque finish. When a fabric has these kinds of recommendations, it gives you an idea of what it works well for, which can save you a lot of trial and error. And finally, this fabric says that it's 59 inches wide, which is a bit wider than standard. Wider fabrics are great because you typically need less yardage, right? So it saves you some cost and makes it easier to fit large patterns, like pattern pieces that have like long sleeves or big sleeves, or like pant legs or something like that. And then when in doubt, lastly, just use swatches or samples. One of my favorite ways to be sure about a fabric is by ordering swatches. Many sellers and websites offer swatches, and they're usually inexpensive or free. By ordering swatches, you can actually feel the fabric. You can see the real color and test its drape, color fastness, how much it shrinks, like all kinds of things. Some things that I like to do is order a bunch of swatches of different types of fabrics, like GSMs and fabric types and blends, just so that I can build like my own little portfolio, if you will, of fabric types, just as reference for future projects. So that way it kind of gives you a good idea of how certain fabrics feel without having to go out to the store, which I will say is also a good alternative if you don't want to like build your own little swatch catalog or get this book. You can always go out to the stores and look at the tags on there and just start touching fabric. So that way you have like a mental note of what certain blends feel like and what you can expect when you're shopping online. It's always a good idea to check the return policy or exchange policy before you order, especially for cut fabrics. Some retailers may not accept returns on custom lengths or certain types of fabric, so this can be a deal breaker if you're unsure about a fabric and you don't want to commit to a bunch of yards and it wasn't exactly what you wanted. So to sum it all up, look closely at the GSM and fiber content, always read the full description, and order a swatch when possible. Shopping for fabric online can be a bit of a learning curve, but once you know what to look for, it becomes a lot easier and it opens up a world of possibilities. I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments what your experience has been shopping online. Do you have a favorite place that you like to shop? Do you have any recommendations? And yeah. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and of course feel free to drop any questions or your own tips down in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!